Let's see if he can start it. Ah! He's amazing! Good luck! Boy.
I wonder if we should make it lower.
I don't know. We'll talk to you later.
Okay.
There's a little button off the bottom of the line here.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh.
It snaps in the bottom. It
Okay,
holds
here,
the
I'll sit
string.
here.
Okay, just you push down, this comes off.
Oh,
Like
okay.
that. And now all I do is I set it up against the side. Then you take, this is that insulation I told you about.
Oh, yeah.
So there's the bag, and what I do is I put it down the basement on that little bench I got made inside the boiler room.
Mm-hmm.
You can wrap it or put it in the bag. Then this is lined with insulation because cold air comes in here. So when you pull it, it'll come out. And you just pull this one handle out here. I got arthritis in my hand, so you guys might have to
You
do
wanna
some of this.
hold
Here, let me help you.
See if you can pull that out.
So this pulls out here?
It pulls out, yeah, it pulls straight out. If you pull it out, she'll pop right out.
Okay.
There it is. Okay.
Oh,
then,
that's just that one.
then you pull it, yeah. Then you just pull this straight.
Okay. Oh, okay, so then that all pops
Yeah,
up.
and you got to pull it in. And here I wrote down oil motor in 2 places, 15 to 20 drops of number 20 non-detergent. That's what that is.
Okay.
So you pull this out, and you can.
Well, it won't fall off?
No.
Okay.
You got to pull it out to just where the fan is equal to that.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna push it back just a bit.
Okay.
Okay, right there.
Will it stay?
That'll hold. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, right here, you can see the. I gotta put my glasses in.
Will that just pop out?
Okay, right. And this,
Oh, wait.
this, see right here, these little plugs right here. There's one here and one here. The little plugs. Okay, you pull them out. I might have to go. I brought some tools. It's good to have a needle nose with you when you work on this stuff. But this pulls out. Or maybe you can do it too because you got stronger
Jeff
fingers.
actually has this Leatherman's thing. He can
Just grab a hold and this, they come straight up. If you do it, then you won't forget it. Okay, now don't lose them. And sit on. I set them
Here,
right
put 'em right
there.
here.
And there's another one down in the corner right here.
I can get it if you want to.
Yeah. It's hard to
just
hold
like
this.
just like working on teeth.
Yeah, exactly. I don't get to pull them out very much, though.
Okay. Now you open that all the way up.
Okay. So,
You open this all the way up. Like
oh, I
this.
see. You do take.
Then you just.
Oh, okay.
Then all you do is you. Where's the hole now?
Right there.
This
Yep,
is-
right there.
We gonna. You know we should have a flashlight or something. Have we got a flashlight?
He's got
We got
everything.
everything. So we can see. And you see the little hole? Then you can put. I'll let you do it. You can put in.
Okay.
You can just hold it up like this, and then you can watch the drops. You just count the
Go
drops.
back a little bit to the right.
Okay.
Okay. Oops. 1, 2.
Is it going in the hole?
Go down back a little bit.
Down a
there.
little bit.
Go. Right.
I'll let you
Let
do
me
it.
see it,
Well, I'll
yeah.
let you do it.
So hard to direct. Okay. Let's see.
Oil. You don't want that.
Okay. Hopefully.
So then you got to put the plugs back in.
So this is done once a year?
Once a year. Every time you start it, and then it's good for the whole year.
Okay, there. And a little plug. Let me help you. Oh, right into the floor. Okay.
Push it in. You gotta watch the string
Oh, yeah.
for your shade. You just push it in. And it'll- okay, you get his keys so he knows. Then we gotta pick up on it a little bit, and then you push it. There it is.
So the insulation doesn't need to go
Right.
back in?
No, you don't have to, unless what I do is I put it in because you won't have to monkey with this until next spring.
Right.
So then I just put this back in.
Okay.
This is just stuff that I've added to it because it does get cold.
Okay.
I don't know what the rest of that, if that went up and down.
Did it go this way?
No, it goes down the side. I think what you have to do is start like this. Might
Like
go
that?
in there and then just push it down the side.
I see.
And it just keeps the cold air. You'll notice.
That's not new, is it? You just got a little cut.
Oh no, I hit that with a hammer Monday.
Oh.
of the last week, and brand new hammer, and I took the skin
That's
right off.
terrible.
I don't know.
Okay, so then it's until next spring, okay.
Okay, now you don't have to monkey with this till next spring. You're done. Then you just what you do too is this here. If you use this a lot, this can be. See the way it is. You can just take this this off. It's just kind of a spring-loaded.
Oh, okay.
And that roll of paper, that's from last year. See, I didn't run this much, so this is still good.
Okay.
You can cut your own out of that roll. You get that at Sears.
Okay.
And then just put it back. That's all you do. See, this is a little worn,
Oh, okay.
but it doesn't. This is where that black stuff starts coming in. Okay, now we gotta hook this. You can see the little hooks. Hook this one around here. And go down and you hook it down to the next one down there. You kind of exit
Okay.
to hold it. This one will come up.
Braces.
Yeah, there you go.
Is it right here?
Mm-hmm. They're really they're just about opposite each other. My finger's so big I can't
Oh,
even
no,
make
that's
it
okay. Is it supposed to be a little more stretched here?
I think
Oh.
that's pretty well stretched out is what it is.
Yeah.
You can do it until you get it all locked in.
It goes to the middle, Ange.
This one goes to the middle?
Yeah.
You can buy this stuff here at Knox or
I'm not very good at like with rope.
you got
And now it goes to the top.
goes to the top.
These diamonds.
Yeah. Then we can take the excess and you can either tie it in a knot or take it out. You can buy some more elastic cord too. This stuff has been
There we go.
there. That's all you need, and that does it. Then this, like I say, you can replace this. I've replaced it once,
Oh, okay.
but from taking it in and out, it does take a toll on it.
Yeah, I bet it does.
And then running it too. I remember when I first got this, my daughter and I both had the flu. And I had the old box in the window, and I just took this new one out, and I pushed it in, and I could hardly walk. I was so weak. You know, I turned it on, and within one day, with the moisture it took out of the house, the holes didn't line up because of the new unit was backing in.
Oh, no.
Man, I opened that up, and I'm sick. I'm just shaking. I'm so weak. I took it out, drained it, drilled a hole in the old box, put it back in. Then when I got well, I put the new box in. But that, you just plug it in. You can plug it in, and if it's on down there, it should go on.
Is there the? We gotta
need
get
to
the
take
thing
it
on
off
the
the back
outside.
though, right?
Oh yeah, you got to take the cover off. Yeah, we don't want to
We're
see it's on automatic fan now. That's what I usually would run it at. And if I set it high cool, low cool, medium, low, it'll run to like 70 degrees, 68 degrees, 65, 62, and it runs and it'll cut off. And when the
Nice.
temperature drops, it starts up again. Hi back. So you legally can just sue me,
No. Who are you though?
huh?
Who are you? I
Um,
mean, you tell us about this is.
This is my old house. I used to own this house. I'm so glad that Jeff and Angie bought it.
How long have you lived here?
1963.
Wow.
So that's 63. So how many years is that?
What 30?
37.
73? 37 years,
years.
yeah. 37
Wow.
years. Old timer.
Well,
Soil is the same oil in the fans. Watch when you take them off, so that what I do is there's screws right up here, right at the very top, and there should be a screw on the bottom the same way.
Oh, okay.
You take this is a little bit difficult to get off, but it's worth it if you know you don't have to. You don't use the fan that much unless you're going to heat with it, and then you should do that at least every 2 years, and it'll tell you right on the motor how many drops. I don't recall. I think it's 10 drops on that also.
Okay.
Keep these separate.
Oh, okay.
And if you ever break this glass for any reason, make sure that you take and you tell them what section it came out of, because this glass is all different. It's made to expand and contract. If you give them this size for this, this will crack when you start the fire. So just give them the size of the, if you take a drawing of it, show them which one broke. And I think everything is in that packet I gave you for the fireplace.
Okay.
So you'll find that in there. The damper, just open up
Okay.
before each fire, and then that should be cleaned once a year. This was used twice last year, so you don't have to clean it this year.
Okay.
But next year, if you use it heavy, you should clean it.
Okay.
I'd never build a real big fire.
Okay.
Just keep it kind of, because you get a metal smell off it. If you keep it just at a moderate level, you can build, a good, nice fire.
Yeah.
But you, with these, with the metal, you don't want it because then it smells metal.
Right.
And if you keep the fan on, it doesn't. It seems to want to cool all that in there. But if you put the fan on, you go and stand it in here, it'll get 85, 90.
That's not good. Unless it's dead of winter, you don't heat on it.
Okay, sure, if for some reason, now this just has been replaced. Do you mind if I go in here?
Oh, absolutely not. Go ahead.
I gotta show you. There's a switch. See this switch right here?
Uh-huh.
If you when this is closed, this pushes in and it allows everything to start. But if you ever close it and it doesn't start, that's what's wrong. And that's the only thing I've ever had trouble with this switch. And if you get Service Plus, get the dishwasher on Service Plus, it's covered.
Okay, I have a question on this because we ran a load.
Sure.
And I don't know if we did it wrong, but a lot of the dishes were spotty, like soapy.
Oh, soapy?
Like soap bubbles all over.
We might have.
Okay. Did
But
you
see,
put,
now there's soap in here, so we did both of these and this one.
yeah, this should
So-
open up by itself. This should have opened.
So
You
where do
might
we?
want to clean this out.
Okay, where do we put the soap at?
Soap here and here. One
And
is
do they
for
both close?
one is a rinse, yeah. One is a wash, and then you close them both when you get them both.
When you get them full, you
Yeah.
close them both. Okay.
Now this used to close. There it is.
Okay.
You close
yeah,
them
I'll
both,
clean that out.
push it up, start it, and then you'll hear it click. It'll open, and then you'll get a rinse job, and it washes all the stuff off the dishes,
Okay.
and the other one's for the wash.
So do you think maybe because they're it doesn't dry, does it?
This dries, yes.
Does it? Okay.
This will dry
I'm just trying to
and
figure out why we had all those. Because we
It's
closed
probably-
we closed both of these, but we put soap here too.
Oh, that's probably why. There's too
Okay.
much soap.
Okay.
It shouldn't
We didn't
spot.
know where to put it.
Or you can buy this. See, this is an old one, but get that. What do they call
Dish
it?
dry. I know what you're talking. Jet dry.
Yeah, jet dry. Yeah, get some jet dry up there, hang them on there.
Okay.
And this, for some reason, you can call. You can after you've been here a while, call them and ask them if this is covered. It should
Okay.
be covered. This is where jet dry goes, a liquid. But this thing stopped on me about 10 years ago. I never used it after that. I just started hanging the jet dry on
Yeah.
and did the job for me.
Okay. That's good. Okay. That's what
Okay, now did you notice that the water heater crackles?
Yeah, like
You know-
kind of a bubbly sound.
Okay, you know what that is? I'll explain it to you. Until you get a water softener, you're going to have that. That
Okay.
happened to me 2 weeks after I put it in. And I couldn't understand. I got a plumber here, and I got Service Plus here. He says, what happens, the water is so hard that when it comes in, calcium builds up on the bottom in little globs. It's just almost like a kidney stone. And it lays on the bottom of the plate. And then when it starts to heat, it won't start right away, but when all of a sudden it starts to heat, it starts popping like popcorn. It goes poof, and
weird.
it's blowing the calcium off the bottom into the water.
Okay.
That's why I got down there to drain it. They told me to drain it. You drain it twice a year, and then that takes care of the calcium stuff. But if you get a water softener, it eliminates it. You'll always have a little bit there. It just made me sick. I just put it in. 2 weeks later, I got the same thing I had before. Nothing wrong with it. And everybody was telling me, oh, what was wrong? And I finally got the plumber out here, and he said, no. He says, if you can disconnect that, take it outside, and turn it like upside down, you can wash it right out. But he says if you get a water softener, it'll gradually just eliminate that. So it's nothing to be afraid of. That's
Okay.
I gotta rinse my hands
Oh, yeah, go
Soap
ahead.
on my-
Then you just, I don't have a bar soap.
I just got soap.
Okay.
It's starting to burn that cut. Now when you clean the fan out, you gotta really watch careful, so you don't put it in the wrong spot. But this comes down, this comes off, and this will just drop. Now you see where that is? That hook's underneath that angle.
Mm-hmm.
You take this down.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
There's your bulbs. You can change both bulbs.
60 watt.
There's the motor, and these, what happens with these, you can take these out. Once this is dropped, you can put these in the dishwasher.
Oh, you can.
You can clean these in the dishwasher.
Interesting.
Just take this down and drop it down, and then these come out, put them in a dishwasher, clean it up, put it back, and you're in the money.
All right.
So anything else you need to know about that? That's about it, basically. But if you pull it out, there's I think there's 6 screws. You can use a straight slot. They're made for a nut driver. You know what a nut driver is? It's a screwdriver that's got like a socket on the end of it, a little small one. Take them off, and then you vacuum the coils.
Okay.
And then you should do it at least twice a year. It runs so much cheaper.
Oh, when you do that. Okay.
And then let me show you this. You got this here. This is like a clip. They just snap in, but the hands are
You want me to
something.
get it? I'm sorry.
Then right here, there's a. You can see how dusty it is. See, if you look, this should be done.
So it needs to be vacuumed out.
Yeah,
on
you can see
end,
this should never look like this.
So you vacuum it on this end and the other end?
Yeah, this end, and just push it in as far as you can get it back in the coils, and that'll make it run cooler. There's a pan right here. This pan comes out. You can just pull it out over the top,
I see.
or maybe it comes out the bottom. It comes out
Let
one
me
of the
try
ways.
it. I can try.
See if you can get that out. And you should wash that out. It'll tell you exactly on the pan how to wash it. I don't think you can use detergent in it.
Okay.
But you can see that's the evaporator pan.
Okay.
That's the water that was taken out. You know how you defrost? That's where it goes, and then it self defrosts
Okay.
and evaporates.
So it just basically it just sets in there?
Just sits in there just like that.
Okay.
And these plug in back into the. Let's see, we gotta go lower. It's gotta see it right. See how Angie see it go. See the little springs plug it there, and then it'll come even with the. There. That's it.
All right.
If you ever hear anything rattling, this is what's rattling.
Okay.
So it's not in right or it's not tight. You'll hear it rattle.
Okay, that's easy.
Self-expand.
Yeah.
You can change that if you want. If it starts getting too much, I run it on 3 all the time and B.
Okay.
But you can run it on any setting you want. And this opens.
Oh wow, look at that.
And this is something to hold it up. These come loose. These are loose. You just make sure that they're in the pockets. There's pockets here. That's it. And these all come out if you want to get new ones or clean them. These are, well, you know what the self-igniters are?
Yes. Yeah.
You just hold it. What the correct way to do this is you put it on, let the gas build up, and
Oh, I see. Okay.
that's the correct way. Just let it build up for like about 3 seconds and turn the igniter on.
Okay.
These are, the igniters are $78 a piece on these. These are covered by
Service Plus.
Service Plus. So you want to get
I
the
think we
range
have
on
it.
Service Plus
Yeah.
also.
Okay.
This is the disconnect here. I'll show you downstairs. This is a union. If you ever want to move this out to clean it, shut it off downstairs. I'll show you where the valve is, and then you crack this union, and you can pull it right out.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know.
So the boiler is the same as this, and it can be cleaned.
Okay.
So I don't think I've ever used the boiler, but there, maybe on the side, there's dust on the side. That's about it up here, except
And
for the
the
boiler.
do the radiators up here need to be blooded off?
I'll show you how to.
Okay.
Well, 4 calls sitting right there. If it really rains heavy, you're going to get water just in that section,
Right there?
right straight off.
Okay,
and I don't
so-
know why. I think it's where the fireplace comes down, or is it that little valley?
Okay.
I
so I'll
think
move
that. I
this
think
stuff.
what it's doing is jumping over the gutter.
Mhm.
That's what I think is happening.
Okay.
And let's go in here, and I'll show you
Okay.
where the gas is
little
for the
messy.
garage. I left you all these circuit breakers. These are all brand new. If something happens to one, you can get them. They're D type, and
Okay.
that's a real good box. QO circuit breakers. D-type. So you've got all of this stuff. Everything should be labeled. Here's the first label. Here's our new label.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a lot. I got some of these circuits on. Like here was for a freezer. Now you might want that doesn't have a grounded plug. If you put something on it, you might want to put the grounded plug on it and stuff.
Okay.
The shut off is here. There's a union right down here. If you ever have to slide this out, get this on Service Plus.
Okay.
And
So
this I had this and this.
we signed up for Service Plus. They sent us something. Do we tell them what we want?
Yeah, you gotta tell them what you want.
Okay.
They give you the basic, like your furnace and water heater, but make sure the water heater's on there also. And then tell them that you want the washer, the dryer. I think it cost me $23.50, $23.30. It's worth it. It's worth it. The dishwasher, the dishwasher switch alone on a dishwasher was $100 on that switch.
Wow.
The on the boiler, the main valve, which was replaced I think 3 years ago, it went bad on me. And I'd come home from the lake and it was cold. It was cold in here. I figured, what? You know, I went down and I'd held it down. I'd light the pilot. It'd light. I'd leave up on it and go out. I thought, well, it's got to be the thermocouple or the power pile. I put a new power pile in. Couldn't get it called him up. They came right out.
Oh.
He says, no, it's the valve. The valve is gone. So it's $135 for the valve and $125 labor. It cost me nothing. So I mean, you won't have no trouble with it because it's brand new.
Right.
Okay, there's a union down there to disconnect it, and this here. Now this ground wire. See this ground wire? This is connected to both. Let's make sure I did connect it. Yeah, this ground wire here. I'm not trying to electrocute you.
Okay.
This is to ground it out.
All right.
It's grounded to the dryer and also to the wash machine and then to the cold water pipe.
Okay.
If you ever ground anything, it's always got to be the cold water because it goes to the street and diffuses through the street.
Okay.
Now, this is the valve. This is for the garage. Turn that on. There's a valve in the garage also. Turn that on. Turn them both off. In case you
Okay.
forget to shut
What is
this
that
off.
So it's off right now.
Yeah, it's off. Everything is off. The garage is off.
For the
But
heat,
just-
you mean?
For the heat out there. You just tip these up. This one, if you want to shut off, you just pull down.
For the stove, yeah.
Yeah. This has got an igniter like the stove. This is not a pilot. It's got the igniter. It's energy efficient. Everything is grounded on the electrical here. And there's the telephone. They disconnected my extension lines upstairs.
Well, I'm getting that internet service
Oh, you're
stuff.
gonna have
See, we're not going to use the normal phones. We're going to use just these phones.
Oh, okay. So you don't need that.
Yeah.
But they use the wire to do the internet stuff.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so that's what this is. I found some wire that you must have run before and disconnected,
Yeah.
and I ran it. So actually, some of the ceiling tiles are out right now,
Oh, that's
but I ran it into the front office room.
Sure.
So
That's good.
yeah, so that's
Oh, this will work slick for you.
yeah.
But that's what I did it because when I did this, if they found a phone that rang, they could look at the ohms it drew,
Right.
and you'd get charged for it. So I had it so it could be disconnected,
Oh.
and then stick it up in the insulation. But I was, raising a family. My God, I was making $14,000 a year,
Yeah.
and you can't afford all this stuff. And I used to get phones from the Capitol, phones from they throw them out. They don't care.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true.
on
Yeah, you have to turn them on.
what I do when I go on a vacation,
You turn them
I'll
off.
turn them off.
Okay.
So you can just
They can stay on though when we're home.
they can stay on when you're home.
Okay.
But
And
if
are
you
these
go-
off too? Do
No.
these stay off or?
That's for
No, that's for the wash machine.
Okay.
You
Are
can
they-
leave them on all the time if
Okay.
you want. As
But
long
they're
as
off now.
when I go someplace, I just shut those off.
Okay.
These have a tendency to leak if you keep on opening them and closing them. So it's rather than monkeying with them, I just get something like this that.
Oh, so these are on now?
These should be on.
Okay.
Oh, it's off. Or is it on? It is on.
Yeah, they look on.
Okay, and so, okay.
Yeah, these you just, when you go on vacation, just shut these off. That's what
Alright.
that's for.
Okay.
So there is no.
That makes sense.
You don't have to.
What are
use that
those
belt.
switches up there? Or
What's that?
Knobs.
Okay, what this is this is already pre-plumbed for a water softener. This is the bypass right now that's being used. But you can, if you shut this off, the water goes through and then down to the water conditioner and then back up again. If you follow it down, you can see where it comes. Over here, I've got a label right here. Here's the supplied cold. That comes right from here. Okay, this is the cold water coming in. This is the heat. This is your outside receptacle. You know, if you want that, you got to open that up.
Right there, okay.
If you go on vacation, shut this down because the kids would turn the little girls next door come over and they turn them on. And then it runs.
Yeah.
You know, they turn outside. They don't get in here, but they'll turn outside and they'll turn it on and it'll run. But they're little. They don't understand.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of think for them, and you know. So this is the supply. It comes in, it goes through. This is bringing cold water right from the street. Comes here. Here's the supply. It's marked supply cold. It comes in. And right now I've got this. So these are closed, and this is open. So it comes right straight back, and it's supplying cold water to the sink. Cold water to the. Let's see. One is to the sink. Where is this other one going? It's been laid out. This is the hot water, the return for the hot water.
Yeah, I see
That's
that.
what I'm looking at. Okay, this is hot water. This is the cold water return. Then there's the hot water for the sink there. There's the cold water return for there. But once you run this through, everything becomes softened. If you really look at it and draw it out, you can see I sat down on paper and I drew this stuff for about a week before I got it figured out what I could do. But this is the key right here, this cross piece. When you get the water softener, you shut this off. Then all the water goes down through the water softener. It comes up and it goes through your service
So
line.
this is where it goes and the water softener
Yeah.
goes in here.
Right, and this is the cold. It'll run all the way back to the hot water heater, and then it comes back down as hot water here softened. So it's confusing. This is a vent. It just vents out to the outside.
Okay.
You know, you just turn it on. It'll suck. When I used to have parties on it, when people smoked, I used
Oh.
to just, you know,
Yeah, I bet that
evacuate
really
the
helped.
smoke that way. It takes a little bit. This is a vent air that's really expensive. And I got a lot of the stuff wholesale, so it didn't cost me. Another one of those hardwired. These are hardwired in, so that
Oh.
really.
I knew you were going to do that, but.
This is a CO2 detector.
Oh, that's
This
nice.
battery now, I've got these in my house over there. The batteries are $26. They last 3 years, and you got to buy a new one. You're better off to buy when you plug into a receptacle and just leave the thing sit there because there's a hole. It'll have holes from the screws. I don't even use it.
Mm-hmm.
But what you can do is you can pull that out, take the battery out, you know, until it doesn't work anymore. I think it's still. These take a while to. But they work. But
That's what it detects the carbon.
Carbon, yeah. And that when that battery goes, I just pull this out, take the battery out, push it back in, get one you plug in. You can buy them for $16, $17, and you're protected. I call NSP and get one for upstairs. That's what I had up there. It shows you how many, whatever they call Rankins or whatever they are.
Yeah, the measurement of it.
Yeah, of CO is in here. That's what you want to get. Is wired to the outside. there was a receiving box on the outside.
Yeah, by the stairs, kind of, or
Yeah.
around the corner.
They might want to come in once a year to read it. They usually do. They'll give you a notice, and then somebody has to. You tell them, I can only be home on Saturday, and so I'll send a guy up on Saturday to read it. But other than that, they drive by and they either plug into it and it'll give them the reading, or they can drive by and get it from the street. And the gas meter and the electric, I think, are hooked up the same way.
Okay.
You just drive by and they get the readings. So you're set with that. Then this is a frost-proof outlet. When you shut it off outside, it shuts off in here. Never leave your hose if it comes late fall. Never leave your hose connected because
Okay.
that'll trap the water. It'll freeze.
Okay.
Take your hose off, shut it off, and it'll shut off in here. That's actually basically all you have to do. But if you get a little bugger that'll open that up, you'll have a flooded yard and maybe a flooded basement.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had that happen. The little girls one time cracked it open, so it was half a trickle coming down. They don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Then these windows. There's another thing I was going to show you how to put them in.
Second windows back.
Oh yeah.
Those locks. You just you pull the windows open with that lock.
Okay, yeah.
These all they do is they clip in. You just take them in line and push down on them and they snap in. Keep this company. Keep this.
Is this how you open the windows then? I mean, like to clean them?
Yeah, to clean
You need what's in here.
These are the little trippers.
Okay, that will.
I think they've got them out of metal now, which are a lot better. But these they want to break if you slam it, push it hard and slam it. If you go easy, they don't break off. But if you push it a little bit too hard, they'll break off. See, there's one broke.
Okay, now so this is what we use to open,
Right, you
So you
pull
can
them
clean
two
'em.
levers in
and it'll
and
come.
get right.
Okay.
Yeah, no broken ones there.
Oh, that's what I was wondering. I thought I was
Yeah, that's what they are. Let's see if there's any more in there.
thinking about the same thing.
You don't have any noise. You're going to have to write them.
Just to have one.
There's the guy.
Noble windows. Okay. That's great.
This used to be vinyl sash. That's who put the windows in. Like I said, you can tape this rough, like I did. I fire taped where I put the holding, the benches and or the shelves and stuff. But you can fire tape this too. It's all ready to be fire taped. It's just so hard to get in all this stuff at one time. But if you fire tape it, then you can pump cold air in here if you want. But that's why I built it. I was going to eventually put cold air in here so that this would run and not use any air from the house. But then you get the house so tight that it becomes unhealthy. The house is pretty tight the way it is with all the insulation and stuff.
Yeah.
So you don't want to get it too tight. So maybe that's a bad idea. But there's the insulation filters, or the air conditioner filters.
Okay.
There's the fireplace stuff.
Okay.
And then there's the water heater. Everything you got to know about the water heater. And then there's there's that low voltage thermostat. Make sure you get that type. Why did I look for that? What? Honeywell sent me 3 of them before I got the right one.
Oh.
I had one on the wall and it would work and then it would burn up.
Huh.
It just actually melt. And I thought, what is this? What's going on?
Exactly.
So anyway, then I got the number off the boiler. I sent it down to them, and they hooked it up with the standard low voltage thermostat, and that was it.
Okay.
There's this sweep for the chimney with an extra brush if you need it. I don't think you'll ever need it. I don't need it at all, so that's why I left it. This, if you ever have to drain this, which this might happen to you once every 12 years, this becomes waterlogged. This is supposed to have half air. It's like a cushion, so that if the boiler starts to drop down a little bit in water, it'll supply more water to it.
Oh, okay.
But it's a cushion. But when this gets waterlogged, it comes up with if the thing comes up in pressure, that comes up in pressure. And then it'll blow the safety valve. That happened once since I've had it. And man, I went nuts. I didn't know what to do. And I called the plumber, and the plumber come over, and he says, "Hey, you're through waterlogging." So all you do if that ever happens to you, you shut this off, This valve is shut off. It tells you right there. This has got to be open when the boiler's running. Just shut the boiler down. You drain it off. You screw this out all the way, and the instructions are right here. Hook a hose on, and go have supper at a restaurant. Let it drain out. When you come back, take and open this valve up. Close this first. Open this valve up. That'll allow the water, when you fill the boiler again, it'll allow the water to go in and give you the cushion again. It'll take on just half water and half air, and then it'll give you that bumper cushion all the time.
Right.
Like I say, you probably will never have to monkey with this, but that's just in case, so you know. Everything is there. If you read it, you'll understand it. It's real simple. I left all the tags on. And this valve has got to stay open at all times, except when draining an expansion tank. If you don't, this thing will blow.
It's like having that be full.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. You're not allowing it to go up here. When it increases in heat, it pushes the water up, so it maintains 8 to 12 pounds pressure on your boiler. If that's closed off, it just keeps on building. No place for it to go, and it blows this. And this baby does work. So then up here is the gas valve. You can see the red handle. That's for the stove.
Okay.
That valve up there is for the stove. If you ever want to move the stove, shut that off, disconnect the union, pull it out. You can clean the floor.
Okay.
This pump is self-sufficient. Never needs oil. Never needs nothing. This is that Grunseth pump. Where is it? Here it is. Here. Never needs any lubricant. Nothing. It runs. This is. I think this is 5 years old. This should run 35, 40 years at least.
Wow.
This German pump. It's unbelievable.
So when we do the stove, we have to turn that off? When we move the stove?
That's the valve.
Shut that off, and then you take that union loose.
Right,
And
okay.
then pull it out. Make sure that you check all your fittings, to make sure nothing. If something moves, make sure you check for leaks.
Yeah.
If you smell gas, it might be when you first start it, so just wait a bit, But if you smell it the second or third day, make sure that you start checking with soap.
Mm-hmm.
Because that,
How do you check with soap?
just suds with a brush, and you just go around it, and it'll bubble if it's leaking.
Oh, really?
You shouldn't have no trouble. This is just a bleeder, and this bleeds the boiler.
How long, many times do you do
Yeah, we got some air out of it. When we open that upstairs, we'll have to bleed all this out.
Well, so you do that after you bleed the upstairs, you come down and bleed this?
Yeah, we'll bleed this first, then we'll go upstairs and we'll bleed, then we'll have to come down and put more water in because the pressure is always there. The pressure and the air are the same thing.
And you bleed like once a year?
You'll have to bleed at the beginning of the year, and I'll show you exactly the sequence that you do it.
Okay.
It's really simple. It's not that hard. Then if you ever have a power outage where the lights go out for the wintertime, you can have it. You come down here and you shut this valve off. This valve right here, you just pull this. That shuts it off. And you shut this valve off down here. What you're doing is isolating the pump. See, you shut them off just like that. These two, the red handle down on this vertical, and this blue or green handle up before the pump. Then you just see this one down here. What this is I'm allowing the water to come down now, straight down, and free flow through the boiler. See that?
So then you don't need to...
That's all you do. So now, when you're running it, you shut this off. You open these valves. This one, and you open this one here.
Do you have to turn the pump off? Oh, I suppose you don't, because there's no power.
There's no power. You can shut the switch. The switch will shut the pump off.
Okay.
Shuts the pump off. Then you go in here. This really, if you write it down, it's really simple. It's not complicated. There's a switch on the top of this. If you look through it, if you look through the top here, you'll see automatic, and then you'll see, I think it says manual over here. There's a switch right here.
What was that for? And you.
This is when the winter time, if you lose power, or otherwise you can just sit and not do anything. The boiler will keep its own, but you put it on manual. See, this running manual now.
Okay.
It'll reach 220 degree water pressure near the boiling point, 213, 212, and that hadn't been run for a while. And it'll reach it and then shuts itself down, and it keeps the house about 80 degrees. So you're never without heat. Where you get forced air, you lose your power, you ain't got no heat. That's the end of you. So all you do is just switch. Reach in there, you can feel the switch. Right at the very top, there's a switch. Push it over to the right. That's manual. Push it over to the left, it's back on thermostat.
Okay.
That's all there's to it. That, and you trip those valves. If you remember that, that's all you have to do. That's winter time, if in case you lose power.
Okay.
Now, make sure we have all this open.
Did you do anything else for maintenance besides bleeding it with the other things? Radiators?
You mean for bleeding?
I mean, is there any other maintenance things besides the bleeding?
If you wanna clean the flues, what I would do with this, I would have, you can take these off. I wish I had I should go get my Phillips. I can take some.
You have something. Want me to film instead?
Sure.
Because you always been.
I left you these brushes, and what I do is I put, this sounds like a lot of stuff, but the thing is you're only going to do this once a year, so.
I feel like I'm on like that home improvement show. Whoa.
Oops.
I left you fuses here too for that. I don't know, 6.5 amp is all they grouse. Okay, that, and then the other side's got 2. And this will drip when it rains in case moisture gets in, but with the new cap on the roof, she won't anymore. But this is a drip tee. This is supposed to drip water if in case water gets in the
Do
chimney.
we put a bucket down below?
Yeah,
Oh, there is a bucket.
there. So
What do you know about that?
And you see the way this goes in back of this flap,
Oh yeah.
so that you remember that, because otherwise you'll sit there and try that like I did. We gotta pry this up.
This way.
Yes, if you get a screwdriver on it, you can pop it. You'll pop it out.
Whoa,
There she goes.
good job. I'm very impressed.
Okay. Now what you're doing here is you're getting into the flue. Now what I do is to keep this insulation off the deck, I just threw pipe in there. You can throw this in any way you want. You can feel how warm that stays.
Oh yeah.
See, the insulation is really protected. And what we're going to do now is we're going to get into the flues. See, I don't have the strength
that's
anymore.
okay.
You might want to put a little oil, get some of that oil from the air.
Well, what's in here? Maybe we
There's a flue to clean. You got to brush it
Oh, you brush it.
Yeah,
off. And
brush the
how
fluid.
often do you do that?
once a year.
You do that once a year, and that hasn't. We need to do that probably.
Yeah, and I put a little oil on each time to. Once a year you do this. It's no big deal. You do it in
No, I
the
was
fall
just
of the year.
yeah,
and
okay.
If you did it right now, you wouldn't have to do it in the fall. But you'd have to shut this completely down. What I do is I throw a piece of newspaper right through the boiler, so that it doesn't get into the holes of the boiler plate where the fire comes up.
Okay.
It will just show you what it's like in there.
Well, thanks for showing us. It's like surgery or something.
Yeah, we're doing everything at one time. We did this, which probably will never happen. We did the outage thing, which probably will never happen, but if it does, you know.
Now I know.
But now this is something you have to do every year.
Right. should make a checklist off this.
Yeah.
Of, just the yearly things and the things that may
So you
happen.
can just write them up and
Then we can check them off if they're.
like in the spring you have nothing to do with the air conditioning, just lubricate and temp
So this is all fall stuff.
And this
Okay.
is all fall. The fall.
Maybe we should do a quick practice in the fall.
And just pull it up.
Da-da-da-da.
And he's looking right at the flues.
Oh wow! Look at that.
That's water runs through there. Now what I do is I shut this completely down. Let it.
You're too close.
Oh, am I?
Just shut it completely down. The unit. You shut it off on the valve. There's a valve here.
Oh,
How
sorry.
do you shut it off?
This is the valve right here.
Right there.
Yeah, this is. It says pilot.
You want to shut
It's
that off?
on. It's on now. So you push this over to pilot, then to off. See off. You just turn it right to off.
Okay.
It shuts everything down. Then you open this. You take these four little screws out.
Okay.
Put a piece of paper in there
Okay.
because you don't want the boiler plate. The boiler plate is a plate that's got the little holes that the gas goes up and it heats
right.
it. So you want to fill
So
this
you
full
put
of this.
so you put the newspaper underneath the.
Yeah, and just what I do is I brush this with this brush. This is a bottle brush underneath. They make a flue brush, and I cannot find it. So I use a blind brush, and I just go down it and you'll get a lot of stuff out of that. It's the carbon and the you'll find it. This is pretty clean. This is not dirty at all. So you probably wouldn't have to do that this year. But just brush it because you'll get a buildup of like carbon in there, white carbon, and just brush it down, and you get a little brown. You can almost see you'll see the white. See the white?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's carbon. This is adjusted by NSP, so that it's burning efficient. And you can't get a more efficient operated boiler. This is it. They told me not to. I was going to have Grinnell put in a new boiler for me, and he said, "Why do you want to put a new boiler in? There's nothing wrong with this one." He says, "This is one of the old ones and the good ones." He said, "They're heavy cast. New ones are all tin. They burn. They rust out."
So that's done. So it's easy to remove.
Very easy. This is from Service Plus. You never shut the boiler down, the pilot light. Never shut it off. To leave it for summer because you're not going to use it. Leave it on all the time. It keeps it dry and it keeps it in service. Otherwise, there's a little flow tube that comes up and it'll carbon in the flow tube and it'll start whistling and then it won't stay on to keep the power pile heated.
Okay. Very important.
I kind of wrote down what to do.
Oh, okay.
This is what I used to do.
Drain it twice a year. So it's due. It's due for that.
I did it before you came, but it doesn't seem to help until you get the water softener. Try that water softener first for at least 4 or 5 months and see how much if it dissipates the calcium in there.
Okay.
If it doesn't bother you, it doesn't hurt anything. That sound, what it is the popping.
Okay.
You use in what do they call them? All-terrain vehicles, not or what do they call them? Winnebagos.
Right.
This is what's in there. So we'll just take these loose. This is
the bleeding.
this is the
upstairs.
yeah. This leads it in. This is the lead up into it. And I wired it shut. And this has been wired shut for. You got to make sure this valve is shut. We don't want to drain right there. We want to push the water through the whole thing, and then we want it to come out here. What we're doing is we're pushing water up into upstairs, and that's coming down right here. It comes across, and then we want to open this valve without putting that antifreeze in the system. So it'll push the water, we'll push it out, and once we get clear water, then we can open the system. Because when you bleed it, you don't want it on your floor, the antifreeze. This will open up too, but I won't open it. I will leave it closed. So it doesn't get into the system.
Here, you want me to do it?
Maybe if you can. My hands
So
at
this
the end
is
of the
for-
day
I
from
know, I
driving
bet.
nails are so sore that Okay, there we go. And we're gonna leave that closed. Okay, now.
Now this is for all for the upstairs?
This is the upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we got this. We got it locked up. Okay, now we're gonna take this.
And we do this in the spring or the
No, you won't ever do this again. This is just because they got antifreeze up there.
Oh,
So just
why do we
bleed
have
the
antifreeze up
radiators
there?
because I had it closed off.
Oh,
And I didn't want, there was probably water left in the line. I didn't want any water to
okay.
get up there. Okay, now we'll open it, but we don't know how much. We got loose the-
Gotcha. I've been
Oh,
trying.
so you don't need to.
We can see it.
I'm gonna put some.
Okay, what do we got now? Let's see, where the pressure on the tank right now is about 5 per, it's not enough to go upstairs. We're gonna push her up to about 15. And 12. There she goes.
There we
That's
go.
right, that's to about 3-4 pounds. I'm going to keep her about, where are we at? I'm still below 10. See it right here coming up? See what's happening, this is pushing out. I can't build it up because it. Here she's holding it.
Where do you want it? You wanted it?
I wanted about 8 to 10. You can run this thing 8 to 12 pounds. You want to keep her about 10 is about a good poundage on this. Push it on underneath. The carpet is loose there, so
Okay.
we'll take this, put this in. This ain't gonna work on this. It's a different size. I've got another. Oh yeah. There's no air.
Oh.
Make sure it shuts off. Okay, that's off now. And you can push it back. Now when you start it, you might have to do it again because when water's